Good evening. We were warned it would get worse before it gets better. Victoria has recorded 216 new virus cases, our second highest daily increase. Sadly, another death too, a 90-year-old man dying in hospital. There are now more than 100 cumulative outbreaks and police have handed out 83 fines as Melbourne adapts to lockdown 2.0. Mark Santomartino begins our coverage.
Alf Jordan celebrated his 90th birthday alone in May, in isolation at Werribee's Glendale Aged Care, precaution that should have protected the great-grandfather from COVID-19.
We send our thoughts, our prayers and best wishes to his loved ones.
7 people, including 4 staff members at Alf's home, have tested positive. The die-hard Magpie fan is Victoria's 23rd person to die from the virus, his family paying tribute to a kind, caring and friendly man who will be greatly missed as the state notched up another 216 infections. 35 older cases were reclassified, so the overall total rose to 3,560. Moonee Valley recorded the most positive tests, a jump of 30. 29 of the new cases were from Wyndham, while another 23 were added in Hume.
Essentially, we've got over 100 cumulative outbreaks now, so it's very difficult to speak to the 30 cases with each and every one of those outbreaks.
Frankston Police Station was closed today after an officer tested positive, as did a staffer at West Gippsland Hospital, with the Premier calling on call centres to prop up the 1,600-strong contact tracing team rather than the interstate experience of the ADF.
There's been no sense that they would necessarily have the right skills to do that. This is a call centre job.
With the ADF backing up officers at checkpoints in Little River, over 24 hours, 83 fines were handed out statewide by Victoria Police. 21 were busted at vehicle checkpoints. Another 13 people were caught playing poker in a South Bank apartment.
It's not just them who pays the price. We all will, because the lockdown will go longer.
A fate resigned to those still calling for help from North Melbourne's 33 Alfred Street Tower after 6 days suffocating inside.
They are looking at another week to make that 14-day quarantine period come to a close.
We have to treat the entire tower as if everybody is a close contact of someone who's got it.
A new testing clinic opened at Mernda today. Facilities at Wootton Road Reserve in Tarneet and Mornington Peninsula Health will open on Monday, while a drive-through testing site at the Diamond Valley Sports and Fitness Centre in Greensborough will be available from Tuesday, when all students were supposed to be allowed back for Term 3. VCE students will not be required to wear face masks when they return to class on Monday, but physical distancing will be much more strictly enforced as infections linked to Al-Taqwa College here in Truganina continue to explode.
The physical distancing that was occurring at school wasn't ideal.
134 infections are now linked to the Al-Taqwa cluster, adding 21 in 2 days, a symptom of Australia's suppression strategy that has our Chief Health Officer considering elimination instead.
It's not the national decision at the moment. I would hope that as we move through this phase in Victoria and look at everything else that's occurring across the rest of Australia, that we don't close ourselves off to a re-evaluation and a reappraisal of what's feasible and what the pros and cons are.
Elimination would require a much tougher lockdown. New Zealand attempted something like this earlier in the year, putting into place a month-long nationwide stay-at-home order. They had much fewer numbers than us, and 3 months on, small numbers of cases are now creeping back in. Alicia, unfortunately, there is no quick fix, and the head of Australia's Health Protection Committee says suppression is still our golden ticket, given how widespread infection is right around the world.
To think that in the absence of a vaccine, that you could possibly push towards successful elimination and then get your country back on any sort of balanced footing, we think is not the right setting for this country.
We're warned that a vaccine could still be 18 to 24 months away at least, Alicia, and that the world needs to start preparing for a future without one.